Talking about the past can feel so uncomfortable. I totally get it. It can bring up these feelings that you desire to avoid. However, are you actually freeing yourself from them or are you numbing out? Hi, I'm Kanisha and welcome back. Today I wanted to talk with you about how to overcome past situations while staying grounded in the present moment and being able to move through this without fear. You only need one simple step, and it's going to really free you from any fear of recreating your past in your present and future moments. I've learned on my journey that when I fear past situations, it actually keeps me in habits of distraction. And ultimately, I found myself numbing out. And this was because I was so fearful of past situations, especially in relationships where I've had to deal with things like deception or cheating or betrayal of some sort, or just feeling not chosen and it just not working out. And so it actually kept me in the space of just not moving and thinking that if I were to actually move through this, that somehow I'm going to just recreate it and we're just going to have to go through the same situation again. But on your ascension journey, when your past is coming up to the surface and you find yourself thinking about it, it's actually an invitation to heal it so that you can invite love into that space. You can create something new in that space. And so when this came up for me in my twin flame union, our past relationships came to the surface to be talked about. And I was squirmy. I was uncomfortable. I didn't want to talk about past relationships because ultimately I wasn't the same version of myself that I was in those previous relationships. But as we moved through them, it actually allowed us to understand each other a bit better on why we may have operated in certain patterns or habits in the past. And actually, it allowed us to communicate about what we didn't want to do again in our present moment and in our relationship and in our union. And so by having these conversations, I actually felt really seen by my twin flame. I felt understood. I felt received and loved. And ultimately, it's because he's me. And so as I started processing them, I started having a lot of compassion for my past and really seeing that that part of me was really working on just surviving. But now that I have this work, I know that I don't have to continue those patterns and those habits from the past. And so I had a lot of gratitude and a lot of just love for myself for how much I had grown. And so when you give yourself permission to just look at the past without fearing it or without judgment, without shaming yourself and without feeling guilt, and I know sometimes it can feel really hard and uncomfortable. And in this space, I would invite you to check out Twin Flames Universe and check out an ascension coach, because having my ascension coach, she just would always remind me that it's really important to have compassion and unconditional love and acceptance for myself instead of judging myself for what I didn't know then, but what I know now. And that it's okay that now that I know it, I don't have to continue that pattern. I don't have to continue doing those same things that I did in the past. And ultimately, that past version of myself only knew what she knew. And I could love her and thank her for helping me survive and get through what I needed to in the only way that I knew how. And once I did that, I really felt this freeness in my heart. I was able to bring that part of me home, and I was able to really accept all of me. And when I accept all of me, my divine counterpart accepts all of me too. And so if there's things in your past that feel really heavy or just feel really hard to look at, and you don't want to do it by yourself, you don't have to. Like I said, my ascension coach really helped me in this process, and I'm so grateful for her because she helped me see this part of me that was really truly calling for unconditional love and acceptance. And once I did, I really did feel whole and complete in that space. And I felt like I could move on from the past and let go of this fear of recreating it. When you truly heal it at the core, you do create space for something brand new to come in, something of a higher vibration. You also start to be able to see the contrast of where you used to be in the past and where you are now. And for me, that brought me a lot of joy and gratitude to see how much I've grown and how much I've changed, how differently I operate. And I now move from a place of peace and love instead of a place of fear and insecurity. So if you're having a hard time letting go of the past and it seems to be rearing its ugly head and bringing up these feelings that you're trying to ignore and avoid, let me tell you, ignoring and avoiding them isn't going to make it go anywhere. It's when you give it the space and the recognition that it needs in order to fully come up and be released. And that's why it's coming up, is to be released, to make space for love, to make space for new opportunities, to make space for new experiences. But if you're holding on to the past, I can tell you right now, you're actually bringing it into your present and future moment. And so in order to create a loving and joyful and just compassionate present and future moments, you've got to let go of the past. And I don't mean that you have to forget it. You just have to let go of it. You have to forgive yourself in those places, or forgive what happened in the past. And remember that forgiveness is just for you. And when you allow yourself to do that, you really do free yourself. It feels like this huge weight lifted off your shoulders, and you can breathe and you can trust that everything is going to be working out in your favor. So I really hope that this brings you love and compassion, and it also brings some relief, because that's what I've learned about healing my past using the mirror exercise, is that it brought great relief. And actually everything that I desired in my past, once I truly healed it and let it go, it actually manifested what I truly wanted into my present moment. Right now, I feel like I'm sitting and living in answered prayers because I really desired a union that really allowed me to just be my true self, and that I felt fulfilled in, and that I truly felt loved, and what it felt like to have true love. But because I was holding on to my past for quite some time, I couldn't let that in. I've been told before by my gurus, Jeff and Shalia, that if you're not with your divine counterpart, your twin flame, it's because somewhere you don't want to be. And when I looked at that, I realized that this is very true. I didn't want to be with my twin flame because I was so terrified that we would be having the same relationships as my past. But once I truly healed that, there was just a space where I was like, I'm ready. I'm truly and totally ready for my twin flame, for my masculine to come in. And very quickly he did, because I had cleared all those spaces where I was afraid to let him in. So I invite you to do this, not only for you, but for your union, and to truly allow love into this space so that you can cultivate unconditional love and love for eternity for yourself and for your union. I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely check out twinflamesuniverse.com to check out the Ascension coaches, because you deserve to have peace in the space and you don't have to do it alone. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.